All right, we are going live with some of the ladies from the Melanated Self Love Summit. And as they tell you a little bit about the Melanated Self Love Summit, we are doing a self love summit dedicated to melanated women and focusing on embracing who you are and really, really, really focusing on loving yourself so that you can love others in a better way. Hey, Tiffany.
Hey,
And I see Tiffany joined in. I've also invited Rasati. She should be joining soon. I sent the invite, and so that we can go ahead and get started with these speaker introductions. All righty. One more person. All right. All right. Let's see. We always have this issue.
so
Can you hear me, Tiffany?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Let me see if I need to turn it up. Let's see. There we go. Okay.
I've never
So
done it before. Is there a way to like mute or anything on here or what?
no, actually it was, but now it's not.
Okay.
So yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have two other ladies joining us. I sent the invites out, and I think this is where it gets a slight bit confusing, because I keep doing it, and then if you guys don't accept it right away, I don't know if it disappears or what. And then I have to cancel the live and then restart the live because I can't invite again because it still says that I already sent the invite.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm going to try it again. Oh my goodness. Okay. See, this is what keeps happening. So great. So I'm going to have to stop it and then restart it. It takes me a second because I'm typing in the title.
okay.
We're going to try this again. I don't know.
Well, let's hope it works smoothly for me the second time around.
Okay, here we go. Wait, she sent another request, so see if we can do it now. Hold on. We might not have to stop it. We might not have to stop it.
Yeah, let's hope not.
There
Oh,
we go.
oh,
Thank you.
Hey y'all.
hi.
Oh,
Good morning.
good. Well, good
Hold up.
evening, good morning. I sent the invite so many times, and it kept saying you were unable to join.
Yeah, for some reason I couldn't even comment when I first got on, but it's all good. Hey Steve, what's going on?
All right. So there we go. We have one more lady. I don't know what's going on, but I sent all the invites out, and that is the issue. But we can go ahead and get started with the actual speaker introductions so that we can keep it going. Hopefully, excuse me, hopefully we'll be able to get her in because I know these controls keep changing consistently, which kind of sucks.
Ooh,
Okay, so we are doing a Melanated Self-Love Summit, as I was explaining, and it's at the end of this month on April 30th, and we've been introducing the speakers over these last few weeks and letting you know who the speakers are that's going to be there, what are the ladies that you're going to get to be with, vibe with for those 2 days, and really just being comfortable discussions with them. Like at the summit, we're not about talking at you, but talking with you. We want it to be a safe, judgment-free zone where we're all coming together as women to love on each other and really focusing on loving ourselves first. So we're going to go ahead, and I like to go in the order that you arrive just to make it simple.
oh boy.
And I'm going to introduce the speakers. Give me 1 second so I can pull it up. There we go. It was already in my browser, so that's amazing. So first, over in the bottom left corner, we have Tiffany Mosley Pollard, and she is the founder of Audrey, Grace, and Izzy, which is an amazing jewelry line. I bought some of the pieces, and I hope to get some more because I'm running low on jewelry. It just disappeared, which is weird. It just disappeared.
That
So,
sometimes.
Tiffany's mission is to encourage women to be the best version of themselves and celebrate themselves for who they are, embracing their individual sense of style and sharing their gifts and talents with the world. She believes that women hold the answer to making this world a better place and that we must be okay with and unapologetic in our quest to create beautiful lives for ourselves, our families, and the world. Please say hi to and welcome Miss Tiffany.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Tiffany.
Hello. Okay. And then in the bottom, my bottom right corner, hopefully it's still your right as well. In my bottom right corner, we have Rasafi Rasaya, and she's an emotional intelligence coach, and she will be a panelist and breakout session speaker for the summit. And she specializes in trauma-informed emotional intelligence. She believes that all emotions are valid, and the key to a happy and peaceful life comes from accepting and understanding each emotion rather than denying or hiding your pain. Her mission is to teach all of us to trust ourselves by exploring our emotions, vulnerabilities, and belief systems. She is also the host of the Night Owl podcast. Everybody, please welcome Rasafi Rasaya, who's in the bottom
What's
right
up, you
corner. Say
guys?
hello. So, hello, ladies, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I love doing these speaker introductions. I have questions for you guys. Are you
Uh-oh.
ready?
Questions make things easier.
Yeah.
Are you ready for them? No, I was told that these are a little bit past the surface, so I don't
Good.
know.
Those are the
But
best kind.
it causes for good conversation. I know that much. We
Hmm.
have great conversations around it. Okay, so
Right?
the first question is a simple question and the simplest question on my list.
Oh, boy.
So the first question is simply, why is self-love important to you? See, that's not that bad. Why is self-love important to you? And we're going to go ahead and start with Tiffany. Why is self-love important to you?
I think it's important because it's really the foundation of everything that we do. Like, if you can't show your own self-love, then you can't really expect for other people to treat you the way that you want to be treated. And I think that as women, we always have a hard time sometimes because we focus on trying to do everything for everybody else before we think about ourselves. And so the self-love sometimes get a little lost, but it's important that we remember that because we need it.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
Tiffany, you
Everybody,
had my answer, but it's all right. I'm gonna add
a
on to that if
good
that's cool then.
answer. Like, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that. And I feel like everybody can relate to what you said. So we're going to go ahead and move over to Rasasi. Your answer to why
So
is
you took
self-love
my no,
important
it's
to
okay.
you?
I'm glad you said that. So I want to add on to that by saying that in our culture as women, for some reason, there is a big debate about what is selfish and what's not. And
Mhm.
self-love is at the top of that list. So as much as we want to show people how to love us because we show it to ourselves, a lot of it is battling that cultural idea that if you don't do for others first, that you're being selfish. And I want to challenge that because it's like that oxygen mask concept, right? If you're not capable of taking care of anybody else, you have no business taking care of anybody else. If you can't manage on a day-to-day basis for yourself, how are you supposed to expend more energy to take care of somebody else? So please, please take care of yourselves first. And I'm hoping you guys join the summit and, learn some new ways that might be helpful to you in your lives.
I love that because definitely people say we're selfish when we start to love and think about and put ourselves first. All of a sudden, we're selfish. Where are we selfish? As a woman, we're doing so much. So we decide to take some time to say, okay, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to do what I need to do for myself. There should be no talk, no backlash, no anything. We should just be able to do that. And I find like a lot of times we don't do it because we get that backlash from people, and
Mm-hmm.
usually the people right around us and the people um, that we care for. So we're going to go ahead and move into these next questions. And guess what, Rasaki? What you just said
Mm,
made the t-shirt. So if you guys didn't know, as we've been talking over these few weeks, I've been making t-shirts for the summit,
mm.
and I've been grabbing quotes from everyone to put on the shirt.
Yay, I
So
made one.
you made a
Hold on.
t-shirt.
Sean
So
says, hold on. Sean says, self-love. Love how y'all make my morning so positive. So, thank you so much, Sean. I'm really glad you joined us this
I'm
morning.
and I'm glad you're enjoying the talk so far. So your shirt says self-love is not selfish. So
Yes.
you
Yay.
made a
I better
shirt.
go get one.
You made a shirt. So I'll be pulling quotes and everything too, because over the next few weeks I'll be throwing up you and your quotes along the way. So I'm taking notes and I'm listening. Just know
Cool.
that I'm grabbing whatever you're saying. So be careful. No, be candid
Watch
and
my mouth. Is that what
open.
you're saying?
Yeah, be candid and be open. So the next question is, Tiffany,
Uh-oh.
tell us about your journey with self-love and how has it shaped you?
Well,
Ooh.
I think that my journey with self-love really starts with me looking at my mom. And she is my biggest motivator for how I want to be and how I don't want to be at the same time. Because she is
Hmm.
those that has always given so selflessly. So
Mhm.
she's not selfish at all. You know, it's all about doing for other people and giving to other people. And lots of times when I was watching her as I was growing up, I really wished that she would be a little more selfish for herself because,
Mhm.
you know, I watched her put her dreams and desires on the back burner. I watched her struggle with her weight. And I watched her work on making my dad a better person, only for that to end up in a divorce. And when that happened, she was kind of like left trying to put together the pieces and trying to figure out what it is that, trying to remember who she was before she got involved with the marriage. And so honestly, it's something that she still struggles with now. And to me, that's one of the saddest things is to watch a woman who has forgotten who she is, who she was born as, her dreams and her aspirations. And it's really, really sad when you reach a certain age and you find that you have all these things that you wanted to do, but you didn't do. And now you're thinking that you have more life. Um, you know, you have more life behind you than you have coming ahead. So, you know,
Mhm.
that's why I'm always one of those people like, don't forget yourself in the process. And it's so easy
Yes.
because I even fall prey sometimes. But like, I look at her as a motivator to try to encourage myself and other women to, you know, remember who they are and go after their dreams and exercise their power and their knowledge without feeling like they have to support somebody else first off.
Absolutely. Wow, I co-sign to that. I feel that on like a very, very, very deep level. Yes. Our mothers, absolutely.
And I love what you said because a lot of times when you have to go back and rediscover who you are, because that's basically what's happening. You're rediscovering,
Hmm.
refocusing, repurposing yourself. That's so hard because then you have those self-doubts because you're like, hey, I don't even know who I am. Like to not even know who you are can bring you so low because we are like built in our identities, right? So when you wrap your identity into one person and then all of a sudden that person's not there anymore, then you have to figure it all out all over again and go back to the bottom. And that can be a very hard process, especially if you don't have the support you need or if you don't ask for help. Because a lot of times that's that one big thing that happens, we don't want to ask for help. Don't want to seem like we're not strong. We want to still be the strength and hold ourselves together and hold everybody else up that we don't even ask for help.
And that
So
strong woman thing is like totally a myth. Like I
yeah,
just kind of want to die.
we just know how to manage it better, right? We know how to manage it
Hmm.
better. We can hide it, right?
Until it falls apart, right?
Yeah, until
Right
we
until the
hit
wheels
rock
fall off.
bottom,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So next, Rasati, tell us about your journey with self-love and how it's shaped
Ooh.
you.
Like I said, Tiffany, I really understand what you mean about, watching the role models before you and seeing what they should and shouldn't do. Like, our own opinion, we kind of adjust from there. But for me, it was more like I needed to learn at a young age that I had to tell the world who I was before the world told me who I was supposed to be. Um, Indian family, very, very traditional culture. Not a lot of wiggle room to talk back or kind of define myself. But because I lived in the West, but I was raised Eastern, that dichotomy kind of like hit me real fast, real early. So I left Singapore when I was 5, and I started traveling the world and lived in so many different countries. And each country has their own culture, people and the way they do things. And yeah, we live in our own little bubble until we go to school thinking our family is the best. This is the way the whole world is. You get to school, you find out, nope, people be doing different things and other things are acceptable. And I had to learn learn how to respectfully define who I was before the world pushed me into a corner, made me fit a specific pigeonhole, had rules and regulations for me. And it's been a struggle, and it still is sometimes. I mean, being a single mom, there are expectations in my own community about how they're supposed to behave. I'm not supposed to be out on social media because if I'm on social media, obviously I'm not being a parent, right? That can't possibly be true. So yeah, there is a lot that I have to stand my ground about. And I learned that as much as I hate saying no, I have to, because if I don't, the world will take over. There will be no room for me if I don't make room for myself. And that was what self-love looked like for me. So many times I tried really hard not to be my mom and turned into my mom on several occasions as a parent, as a wife, as a woman in general. Oh, but yeah, you learn the hard way sometimes. You learn by doing. There's not enough theory in the world to help us change until we actually put in the work. So yeah, I had to define myself. I had to choose who I wanted to be versus who they expected me to be. And that wasn't the most fun at all. But it's made
I
a big
love,
difference. Definitely made a big difference.
I love that. Choose who you want to be instead of what they want you to be or want to make you.
Hmm.
I love it. And especially if you start that way. It's so much easier if you just choose you than
Oh,
if
there's so
you,
much friction though.
yeah. Yeah, so versus if you choose
Hmm.
what they want you to be and then you have to change later and rediscover yourself, or you have to start all over with doing that thing that you really wanted to do. So it's
And
like
I've done both. There were times where I was real bold, and there were times where I was like, no, it's just easier to just go along to get along. And when I got divorced, I was like, well, shit, who am I now? Because I'm not his wife anymore. What do I, how do I do this now? Who am I actually? So yeah,
Well,
it's just easier if you decide.
I love that you learned your voice early on and that you were strong enough to hold on to that. Because thinking back, I can't say that I learned my voice early on.
Oh, let me be a little more transparent. I learned about it. I didn't always apply it. So it was like this a lot.
yeah, so that's one of those big things though in
Yeah.
discovering who you are. There's going to be some back and forward as you determine how confident you're going to be in your moves, right? Or how, I don't want to say courageous, you're going to be in stepping outside of what's expected.
It is
So
courage. I will agree to that. It's definitely courage. It's not
yeah,
easy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. How courageous you're going to be, or
Hmm.
how confident you're going to be in yourself. So, as we're moving into the next question, I'm just going to reiterate that we are speaking with the speakers for a couple of the speakers for the Melanated Self Love Summit that is coming up on April 30th and May 1st. And we would love for you to come out and join us as we focus
Get your tickets.
on
They buy one, get one.
self love and embrace who we are so that we can love ourselves down to the good, the bad, the ugly, every part of us, the whole person. And we have in the left, bottom left, we have Polar, Tiffany Mosley Polar, and she is the founder of Audrey Grace and Izzy, which is a wonderful and I want to say super authentic and unique jewelry line.
Thank
And
you.
then in the bottom right corner, we have Rasatha Rasaya, who is going to be speaking as a breakout speaker on the panel. And she is an emotional intelligence coach. So say hello to the ladies as we move into the next question. And Tiffany will be on the panels for the day. Tiffany has a lot of great information and insight to share.
Thank
All
you.
right. So as we're moving into the next question is tell us, Tiffany, it's your
Oh,
turn,
again.
about your struggle to triumph for sorry, your struggle to triumph story when it comes to self-love.
Well, I
Where
think,
did you struggle and then where did you see your triumphs?
goodness. Um, I think the struggle is realizing that, like you said earlier, that all parts of you deserve to be loved. So the
Mhm.
good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, we're not all perfect, but we don't have to throw away those parts that we don't like.
Mhm.
Parts still deserve
Mhm.
to be loved. So for the struggle has been realizing that, you don't have to be perfect because nobody's perfect. And even
Mhm.
though you're not ever going to be perfect and you make mistakes and, there may be somebody that doesn't agree with how you do or whatever, that you're still worthy of celebrating yourself. You're still worthy of being loved. So that's the struggle for me. And it comes up sometimes over and over again. Like, it's not something that like you can get over one time. I'm done. Like, there's always going to be those times that pop up where you feel like you didn't really meet the mark, And so during those times, I have to remember to treat myself with grace. And so the ultimate triumph is that I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's okay that this happened. It's okay that you didn't really do whatever it was that you wanted to do. It's okay that you may have fallen short in this one scenario. You're still lovable. You're still worthy. And the good thing is you can always start over and try again. So
Yep.
Mhm.
the triumph is ongoing.
So give us one single triumph that you've received out of your struggles. One triumph.
So I'll just say that I don't consider my childhood to have been the easiest because I felt like I was one of those people where I was trying to be the peacemaker between my parents. And just the fact that I have been able to look back at those experiences and see them as some things that were painful, also very necessary in my journey, that have strengthened me, made me a lot more resilient, and then made me able to have compassion people that may be experiencing some of the same things. So I consider that fact that I made it through childhood, realizing that I was a peacemaker and that wasn't necessarily the position that I should have been put in place to have to do. But, I made it through it and I feel like I'm wiser on the other end of that.
All right, I like it. I like it because definitely our triumphs come in different ways, shapes, colors, forms, ideas, thoughts, mindsets, and I love that your triumph was realizing that you were the peacemaker and then coming out on the other side wiser. That's a great triumph. Like it doesn't have to be I struggled, and then this big magical thing happened. It could be something like your mindset and also you realizing that you were this type of person. I love that.
And
That is the first time that we got an answer like that. And I think you are probably like the sixth person. So I love it. No, I really do. Like
but
honestly.
you know what else it made me realize is that I'm not the peacemaker for anybody else anymore. Like, that's not my place. Like, I feel like everybody needs to find their own peace and do their own work to get to that level of peace. And it's not me, it's not my position to make sure it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's not your position to do their work for them. I love it.
Hmm.
Can't.
So, Rasati, the same question. What is your struggle to triumph story when it comes to self-love?
I love the question because it's so big and there's so many things we can like bring up because this struggle to self-love journey is never ending because
Hmm.
there's so many phases of our lives. We're different people on any given day. Um, I think it was a struggle to manage who I was as a child versus manage who I was as a teenager versus manage who I was in college. And then like when I first got married, like so many different versions of me. But I think the greatest takeaway for me was the fact that looking back, if I'm trying to understand something that's bothering me now and it happened like way back when in a different, different cycle of my life, that I'm able to separate from who I am now versus who I was then and kind of forgive that person for not knowing better, forgive that person for doing the best she could with the information that was available at the time, screwing up, obviously, but grateful for the screw up because I learned so much more. I think something that I've learned, like through business, through working for other people, being a parent, being a wife, I learn more from my mistakes than I do from like the little triumphs. I feel like every mistake gives me more information about the possibilities that are out there. You never know unless you make a mistake, right? You don't know what's possible. If everything was handed to me on a silver platter, I don't think I'd appreciate life as much. I wouldn't appreciate the few things that I do have right now versus the many things I had at one. I mean, I've been very rich, I've been very poor, and I appreciate the hell out of everything I have right now. Um, Growing up, I moved around a lot. I can't even say army brat. My dad wasn't in the army. He was a civil engineer and he just got bored with one country and moved to another. So I went to 10 different schools in 5 different countries, 7 different languages. I was always the new kid. Moving to the US was pure culture shock because the way people thought was very different from the way people think in Australia or Asia or the UK, for instance. Um, I had to reinvent myself a lot. I would take what I screwed up and got bullied for in one school, and the next school I'd be like, all right, start over again. Let me see if I can figure this out. But for the most part, I realized that, like you said, Tiffany, the things that you grew up with shape you to be who you are. And then you realize, okay, I could be different. I have a choice in the matter. I don't have to play this role. Eventually, you think of things like, these are not my monkeys. This is not my circus. I don't have to hold any of this. I don't have to like deal with it. I can put it down and then suddenly there's more space for me to do things that I want to do. So big takeaways for me were I got to choose. I had a choice to reinvent myself as many times as I wanted to, and I could forgive old versions of myself for not knowing better. Because without forgiving myself, it's like you carry on that guilt and shame all over the place, and it reduces the amount of space you get to walk around in the world. People talk about triggers, oh my gosh, this triggered me because once upon a time this happened and I will never forget it. But the more triggers you have, if you don't deal with the triggers, the less space you have to walk around in. Honestly, like if everything is a trigger, then people can't talk about like a long list of stuff, which means what do you talk about then? And if I don't deal with it, I'm painting myself into a corner. So it was a lot. It's a lot to this is why I deal with emotions. If you can understand, this is why I talk about feelings all day long, because there's so much in our feelings, so many things that we stuff down that we really shouldn't.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you spoke on forgiveness, realizing that you can forgive for the things that happen. I think a lot of times, like our self-love can erupt because of that, because we're so focused on everything that went wrong. And I think that in
What we
every
deserve.
conversation that we've had over these past few weeks, and every conversation that has come up, and I think it's very important to focus on the good things that happen and point out the good things versus really struggling and staying in everything that went wrong. Because if we hang out on what went wrong and never, ever, ever forgive ourselves for it, and we always fall back on it, we never get to move forward. We never get to be happy. We never get to really, really embrace and love ourselves the way that we should when we're so focused on everything that was bad and wrong, because
Mhm.
we could do that. Like you could literally say, I'm going to take the easy way out and I'm going to wallow in everything that ever happened in my entire life, and I'm just going to lay here and look at the wall and let life go on, and that'll be easy, instead of taking the hard route and facing those things that went wrong. And that's another part of getting help, right?
Yep.
um
Self-love is all about courage all day long, every day. To get up and look at yourself in the mirror, to get up and ask for help, to get up and admit, hey, you know what? Didn't make the best possible decision back then, but I'm not
yeah,
that person anymore.
Yeah. And evolution. So I talk about evolution a lot. Like each day, there's a small bit of evolution that occurs. Every day, you're a new person. Every day you wake up, depending on what happened that day, you are changing as the day goes on, as you interact with other people, as different occurrences happen. You're becoming a new person every single day. So evolution keeps going, but you get to choose if it's going to be positive evolution or negative evolution. You have that choice, and to make the choice to say, okay, I want to get up out of this hole and I want to live my life the way I envisioned it. And even if the vision was way back when and you don't have that vision right now because you're struggling, you have to find that courage. Like Versati said, you have to find the courage to say, okay, let me move forward. And sometimes that's by asking for a little bit of help. And if you feel like you don't have anyone to go to, there's somebody out there that's waiting and listening to what's going on and they want to help. And just like us ladies, like we're putting the summit on because we want to bring the women together and say, hey, we're here to love on each other, and it's collaborative. And that's why we're saying we're not going to be talking at you. We're going to be talking with you. We really want to help and bring you into a space where we can all embrace each other, because everybody's experiences count and everybody's experiences matter and can help another person. No one's bigger than the other person. The speakers, the coaches, yes, we've had experiences. Yes, we have some expertise on different subjects, but you bring something along too. So really come out and join us on April 30th and May 1st, where we're going to be talking about self-love. We're going to be engaging in self-love. We're going to be putting it into practice. It's not just a summit where you're just going to be sitting and listening to speakers. We're going to actually be putting the work in and doing some self-love work that weekend. And as we move into the last question for today, I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce the ladies. And I have pinned the summit where it's melanatedlovesummit.com. Please put the www. For some reason, it only works with the www. I know we've gotten used to just being able to type in the rest of it, but put www.melanatedlovesummit.com. And the tickets, like she said, are $29 BOGO at the time of
BOGO.
this live. So we have some amazing items for the digital swag bag. You have an opportunity to get a physical swag bag. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have some fun. I said fun, laughs, cries, yells, screams. All emotions are welcome, because we're there to get it all out and to bring it all in. So really join us. So in the bottom left corner, we have Tiffany Mosley Polar, and she is the founder of Audrey Grace and Izzy, an amazing jewelry line. And then in the bottom right corner, we have Rasati Rasaya, who is an emotional intelligence coach. And both of these ladies will be there on the panel, and Rasati will be doing a breakout session on emotional intelligence. So this is going to be great. And I'm looking forward to going to these ladies' sessions that we've been talking to over these few weeks. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, go to the IGTV channel. They're also all on my Instagram page. I left them there so that you can go back and watch them, and you'll be able to get something from each and every lady on self-love and their story, their experience, and their journey. And that's what it's all about, being able to relate and see that everybody's going through it. It's not just you. Everybody goes through this cycle of self-love, where there's ups and there's downs. So you are not alone in that process. So let's keep it moving to the last question. Tiffany, I forgot to tell you, you made a quote too.
Oh,
I
I
didn't.
did.
Don't forget yourself in the process. That is so important.
Yes, I
Don't
like
forget
that.
yourself in the process. I forgot to tell you. This I'm pulling stuff out. Believe me, we're gonna have some good shirts.
Well, I can't
Okay.
wait to see them.
All right. So the last question is, Tiffany, I would like you to look into the camera and tell that one woman struggling with self-love, what is one thing you would tell her?
So, I think the biggest thing is to give yourself grace, no matter what it is that you've been through, and no matter what you're currently going through. Stuff happens to us. Like bad things happen to good people. And again, like I said earlier, we're not perfect at all, and we're not to be perfect. So allow yourself the ability to come down off of the pedestal that you may have put yourself on, or people have put you on with the expectation that you have to be perfect or you have to be according to a certain way. Like, let's be honest, we're all in. And so that means that we're going to do things differently. We're not made the same. We have our own thoughts. And it's more than okay to be your own person, have your own individuality. I just think the biggest thing is to not be too hard on yourself, to allow yourself the opportunity and the gift of giving yourself grace, and also reach out, ask for help, not thinking that you have to suffer through things all alone, because that's one of the things that I really love. I love being transparent. I love it when we share our stories with one another, because we go through things to be able to help other people. And if you don't actually share that story because you're afraid or you're shameful or whatever, then you're not helping whoever else it is that you might need to be helping through your story experience. So that's why I'm very big on conversation and sharing those things with one another. And above all, show yourself grace. Give yourself the gift of grace.
All right, so you have give yourself the gift of grace. As we compress that into give you,
I can see your eyes light up.
yeah. And I think that we've gotten that answer maybe like 3 or 4 times. So we see how important it is to give yourself grace. Like really focus on saying, okay, everything's not going right, but it's okay. Like it is okay. I can move forward. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to beat myself up. Tomorrow's a new day to do it all over again. It's a
Absolutely.
new day to do it all over again. So give yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your turn, Bisaki. Look into the camera and tell that
Y'all ready?
one woman struggling with self-love. What is that one thing you would tell her?
You're worthy. There's no question about it. You're worthy. You want to take a nap because it's been a hard day? You're worthy. Go take that nap. You want to take some time out and get away for a little while? You're worthy. Go do that. Whatever it is that's in your heart, you feel like you want to do. I know for a long time I told myself I didn't deserve it. I didn't have the time. I would tell myself I didn't have the time for the nervous breakdown I deserve because so many other responsibilities I had.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got a lot on your plate. I know you got people you got to take care of. I know you got people depending on you, but you know what? You are worthy of that little thing you want to do just for you. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done. People think it's, real high maintenance or whatever. No. If it makes you feel good in the moment, because there's so many other things in your life that probably don't make you feel so great, go do that. You are worthy. Go take that time for yourself. No one's going to give it to you. Take that time for yourself.
I love it. I love it. You're worthy and take that time for yourself. Like, be that person that is like, okay, I don't care what else is going on. I'm taking this time. Like, if you need it, take it. Because a lot of times I always see it, I always hear it, and I always experience it. Like, we always think about, okay, like she said, you can't have that nervous breakdown because you have too many responsibilities happening. You have to you have to think about everybody else. So you can't
Mm-hmm.
take that time to take that breakdown that you may need so that you can be your best self. You don't get those moments in those instances, but what I always say is set up that time that is just you time and everybody knows that's your time. Don't disturb me. I don't care what's happening. Call
You
911 if
need
you need
it.
to. No, I'm joking about that. But I'm not, but I am. Just know.
I mean, if
No.
we really think about it, all of us as women, as wives, as mothers, we do so much trying to lift the spirits of the people around us.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times while we're doing that, we don't have time to tell people, hey, this is what I need for me. Well, do it for you. And
Mm-hmm.
people will notice as you take time for yourself, they'll notice, hey, she really likes this. And she really enjoys these kinds of foods because she's doing it for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Stop putting everyone else ahead of yourself. I know it's what's expected, is what everyone's done before us. Stop doing that all the time. There are some times where you have to, obviously,
Yeah.
but you gotta make space for yourself. This is an action verb. You are worthy. Make the space. Make the time. No one's going to give it to you.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying right there, because if you don't make the space and the time for yourself, nobody else will. You set that standard of how you want to be treated by treating yourself the same way. So keep that in mind. You set the standard by treating yourself the way you want other people to treat you. When they see you treating yourself that way, it will fall in line, because they know that, okay, this is the standard she holds for herself, so we can't come in and do something different. So I love it. And I really enjoyed talking with you ladies. And
I'm
I'm
excited.
going, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you as we close out again, to the audience. Um, these ladies will be speaking at the Melanated Self-Love Summit that's coming up at the end of the month. And please go to www.melanatedlovesummit.com and get your ticket. $29. Come on. That is a no-brainer.
Buy
And
one, get one. That's
BOGO.
what,
Excellent price.
15-ish bucks per person. Come
Yeah,
on, y'all can
yeah,
afford that.
yeah. That's for two people. The BOGO means that two people can come for $29, you know. So head
Hmm.
on over there while at the time of this live, it's $29 to get a BOGO. So go on over there and get your tickets. Stop wasting time. Stop procrastinating.
This is a no-brainer. This is for
Yeah.
you
And
specifically.
remember, it's all about self-love. So say I'm going to take this time for myself, this 1.5 days. I'm going to schedule it for myself to get in there and really love on myself and come out on the other side loving myself more, being better in the things that I want to do, and focusing on my better self. So you can come in and leave out, you know, as I won't say your best self, but a better self, right? Because we're always working on getting to our best selves. So come on and join us. We want you to come get in the circle with us and talk and enjoy what we have planned for you guys. We have some really great stuff going. It's not going to be all talk, 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 talk. We have some fun stuff planned as well. And even though it's virtual, we're about to have some fun on this day. So come on
Please.
out and join us. In the bottom left corner, we have Tiffany Mosley Polar, who is the founder of Audrey, Grace, and Izzy, will be a panelist at the event. Great conversation, great information, great experience to share. And then on the right, we have Rasafi Rasaya, who is an emotional intelligence coach, who will be also on the panel and will also be doing a breakout session to help with your emotional intelligence. And she always has some great things to say, some great insights. And I want you guys to come and really enjoy these women and really feel the love, because believe me, it will be love in the room. So come on out, join us. And ladies, any last words before we close out and you say goodbye to the people?
Just that, I firmly believe in starting to make small investments in yourself. And so at $29, buy one, get one, like that is like a pretty small investment. But I think that the return is going to be
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I encourage you to make that investment in yourself.
Thank you. Come on out,
And
ladies.
for
You heard
me,
that.
I really want you guys to realize that, as much as you do for everybody else, your cup is probably running a little low. Let us help you fill your cup. Come sit with us.
Yeah.
Come listen to the stories. Realize you're not alone. My experience is not exactly the same as yours, but they might be things in my story that might help you get through the next day or the next month. Like, we're here sharing because we know we wanted someone like this when we were growing up. So let us help you fill your cup. Come join. Come listen for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love that. We want to fill your cup and make those small investments in yourself. Thank you for joining us tonight, and keep joining us. We're here on Wednesdays and Saturdays as we're going to be talking about different topics. We'll be back this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern talking about self-love and self-acceptance and how they go together. And we'll have some of the ladies out to talk to you. And remember, you can watch the replays in my Instagram channel and on the IGTV channel. Thank you again, ladies, for coming out. I really enjoyed this conversation. Looking forward to your sessions at the summit. Looking forward to see you all again this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Or
rest of your day, Rasai.